So I tried making a blog post about this a while ago, but yeah, there was too much work, and I feel like I don't want to focus that much on seasonal shows unless I have something very specific to say about something very specific. So I decided I'd just do this video where I talk about all of the anime I'm watching this season, and what I'm not watching this season and why. So yeah, this will be the rest of the shows, and I'm also gonna just go over the shows that I already talked about in my blog posts, my previous blog posts on this. Let's see. Let's find the first shows. Let's see. Where does this start? Oh, these are the continuing. Okay, here it is. Yeah, Virtual Sun wa Mitteiru. I dropped this in a couple of minutes. I have no idea who any of these YouTubers are, or virtual YouTubers, and I didn't find the comedy really that funny. I was interested in checking out one of the YouTubers just because she was kind of cute, but I have no real interest in this, and it felt quite mediocre, so I just dropped it in a few minutes. Hulaing Babies. I haven't really watched this yet properly, but I saw a few minutes of it on a pirate stream because I couldn't find it anywhere legally, and it looks really pretty. I didn't have subtitles for it, so I didn't watch it then. I'll get back to it later because I think I will like this. Next one is Bermuda Triangle Colorful Pastoral. I dropped this in a couple of minutes. I don't like the art style. The eyes are creepy, and there wasn't really anything it had to offer. Rinchi Ekoda-chan. I kind of like this. It was weird, but I'm not really sure what it is yet. I've seen one episode so far, and I watched the interview at the end. I'm not sure if I will keep up with the interviews every episode. I'll see how far I will, how many episodes I will do that with, but it was fine so far. Yeah. Next up is Dimension High School, and I actually enjoy this. I may be the only one that actually do, but I'm really enjoying this for some weird reason. It's like, I don't know, I have a very low standard for these CG shows that you know aren't trying to be anything revolutionary, aren't really trying to be anything really good or anything. So maybe it's just because I have very low standard for it. It's funny how you really notice these anime tropes or these very anime-like characters when there's humans playing them, because it's like there's humans playing them and there's voice actors voicing those characters that are playing them, and it's kind of funny to listen to this because it sounds like it's recorded in a studio, but then the video isn't in a studio, and I don't know. I kind of like it so far. I've seen 2 episodes, and it's weird. I don't find the riddles that fun, but the part before the riddles are kind of fun to watch, and I'll probably end up dropping it sooner rather than later, though. Circlet Princess. I dropped this in a couple of minutes. It was kinda just mediocre, had a very, generic art style, generic world. Everything just felt very generic, so I dropped it. Kemono Friends Season 2, I haven't I'm started watching Season 1 recently because of the next show, Kemurikusa. Yeah, Kemono Friends Season 1 seems very interesting based on the first episode at least, so I'm gonna definitely finish that show and check this out. I've heard this isn't as good though. So I don't know. We'll have to see. Kemurikusa, a really good show actually. This one really surprised me. I really like how the mystery is built up. Like, these characters are in this world. We don't know this world, and we don't know why they're there. Why are there clones of this one character? There's so much mystery in this, but it isn't a mystery anime. And I find this really interesting, how mysterious it is. I find it interesting how it's also kind of a it's subverting the isekai genre by having the main character, or not the main character, I mean, by not having the main character be the isekai or the one transported into the other world. So instead the main characters are basically these girls, but or at least the girl on the cover here. So it's interesting to see then the guy transported from another world into this world where we are presented this world as the normal, but he's coming in there and he has his own experiences that we don't know about, even if we usually don't know much about the other world in most isekai stories. But it's interesting, and I'm halfway through episode 2, but I was really tired when I was watching the second episode, so I'm getting back to the second episode on that. Meiji Tokyo Renka. I really enjoy this. I didn't expect that, because I'm not a huge fan of these reverse harems, or at least I don't think so. I haven't really seen enough to say I'm not a huge fan of them. But every time there's a new dude showing up, I'm like laughing out loud because it's just hilarious. It feels self-aware, and it's just, the art style is actually really pleasing to the eyes as well. So I'm watching this. I've seen 2 episodes so far, and I'm gonna keep up with it. But I don't know if I'm gonna finish it, because I don't know how long it will keep me interested. Pastel Memories. I dropped this in half an episode. It feels more like it's trying to reference every other show, but it's not really like anything on its own. Like, I can't really see where its own identity is, and too many characters in the opening minutes, and yeah. The art style is very generic as well. Even one character is just ripping off Hanekawa from the Monogatari series. Like, she's basically exactly the same. I think she's even the same colors. It's like, it's too similar. It's not even a reference at that point. Piano no Mori, I recently started the first season, and I really like it. It's like, it feels like it understands a musician. So, I don't know. It also reminds me of the stories of, like, Mozart. The main character reminds me of how I imagine Mozart. It's interesting, and I actually enjoy it a lot. So I will watch the second season once I finish the first season. We set W set. I don't know. Anyways, Ugly, and it's apparently a sequel to a ugly show from from a while ago, Handshakers, and it was, yeah, no reason to watch it. Let's see, which is the next one. Koya no Kotobuki Hikoutai. Anyways, this was a letdown. I just didn't get into it. It didn't grab me. I was actually looking forward to this as well, but especially since I think it was like the staff of some big show. I don't really remember. Anyways, oh yeah, I think it was the staff of. No, I can't remember right now. Maybe I will remember in a few. Anyways, it was really weird how, like, some characters were 3D CGI and some were not, and I just felt like it had some identity problems in that regard. Like, can't you choose either CG or not CG, please? Like, the non-CG scenes looks fine, but the CG scenes just... The movement looks so janky. It just doesn't look good. Oh, and I just remember that I skipped one. No, I didn't skip one. But I forgot to talk about the CG in Kemurikusa. And why are the images gone? Yeah, I forgot to talk about the visuals in Kemurikusa because it's CG. It's by the same people that made Kemono Friends. And I really like the visuals, actually. I like the 3D style because it blends well. It blends all right, I mean. Sometimes you notice how when character moves that the feet don't really connect with the ground. So they kind of feel a little bit detached. But at the same time... the visual style of these characters, especially how they move, just feels so distinctly anime. I know it's like they move cheaply. However, by doing that, it emulates the style of how anime characters usually move really well. So I really like that about it. I didn't expect to like this, so I'm just stressing it because I want people to check it out. Anyways, let's keep going. Second season, I haven't seen. Yeah, Egao no Daika. This show, I watched the first episode and I was actually kind of surprised. The main character is really cute and I liked the visuals and the story seemed interesting. However, one thing I don't like the voice actor of this guy. It's the same voice actor as Kirito. From Sword Art Online, and I generally don't really like his voice. There's some exceptions, like I think he works as Kirito, and he also works as the main character in Eromanga Sensei. However, usually I don't really like his voice, and it really annoys me whenever I hear him speak, because he doesn't fit that role. And... yeah, and there's a lot of inconsistencies in the animation, especially like when they move the camera. It feels like characters suddenly move backwards, like in the motion they did, and it looks a little bit janky. I'm not sure. I watched half an episode after the first one, and I was like, yeah, it's not really interesting me enough, so I kind of decided to just drop it. Maybe I'll pick it up again at some point. Girly Air Force. I dropped this in a couple of minutes. It looks ugly. It feels generic. Yeah, there's not really much to say about it. It just felt generic, not something I'm interested in. Grimm's Note, the animation suffers from game adaptation. It just, yeah. I dropped it in a few minutes. I have no idea what it really is about. I just didn't like it. Endro, maybe my favorite show this season. I really like this. The visual style, they're so cute. I love it. It's also really interesting how it started. Just like how they started with having them defeat the big villain, and then suddenly they go back to the start, and it's because they actually teleported back in time because of a spell they used by accident, and it's just like it's interesting, and it allows for a lot of comedy because the villain or the demon king or whatever it is, she's actually their teacher, and it's really funny because the teacher is just... she tries to not to get him to stop being heroes so they won't defeat her if when she becomes the Demon King again. It's check it out, please, or maybe not, because I just love this because it's like so specifically for me. I like, and it's even an original actually. Who is... what studio is this? I've never heard. Oh, I usually don't really talk about studios, by the way, because like this, and like they're so inconsistent. I can't really tell what style they do. They have some good, some bad. Anyways, let's see who the staff is, because I'm actually interested in that, because this is so cute. Director. Oh, wait, what? Oh, okay, wait. He's not the. Yeah, because I didn't really like the show. He just did a few episodes. That's good. Yeah, this director hasn't really done that much. I haven't seen this show yet. I think I should, because it's like I've heard good stuff about it. Anyways, okay, back to the next one. Maho Shoujo Tokushen Asuka. I don't even remember anything about this. Did I even watch this? I have no idea, but it was probably bad. Ueno-san wa Bukio. I really like this. Or really, I like this. I mean, it's funny. It's interesting to see this tsundere girl making these inventions every episode. That's just, yeah, isn't physically possible to do, but somehow she does it, and she's cute. The main dude, the dude, he's so ignorant of her, and it's funny to see this romance between them, where he just doesn't notice that she loves him. But it's not in the way where it's like annoying with a lot of romances, where it's the whole will they won't they thing. It's just I find this funny. It's honestly, it kind of reminded me of, like, I don't know. Yeah, I can't actually remember what I was trying to say, but anyways, it was funny, so I recommend it for a quick laugh, and it's like 11 minutes or something per episode, so it's not that bad. Watashi ni tenchi ga mayoirita. This show, I actually read some of the manga before I watched this, because I was like trying to sleep once, and I couldn't, and I asked my friends on Discord, just like, what do I do? And one of my friends just said, yeah, try reading this, because it's a really good manga, and you'll probably be able to fall asleep after this, because I was literally just asking for something cute, because I like cute things, as you may have noticed already. Anyways, I like how they adapted, because a lot of Yonkoma adaptations tend to suffer from this feeling that it's a yonkoma, this panel feeling, like, okay, here's the setup, here's the punchline, kind of, or yeah, and it's just, it kind of does this, but it kind of also doesn't, and I like how they add scenes to it that wasn't in the manga, that kind of adds to the show. It makes it a little bit more like worthy of being adapted into a yonkoma, into an anime. And I find the characters really cute, and while I do think that the voice actor of this girl, or the little sister, she's a little bit annoying, because she's acting a little bit too much like a child in a way. But other than that, I really like it. So I may finish this probably. Let's see. Do Kyonin wa Hisa. Yeah, I'm not gonna do all the full title, but anyways, this one, I don't remember if I watched half of it or if I actually finished it. I may have finished it. Anyways, it was not a bad show per se. It was like, I felt like the dialogue was a little bit... Okay, the dialogue was a little bit bad, especially in the earlier part of the episode. And I don't like the art style. I think the cat is kind of creepy, not cute, like I think it should be. And yeah, I decided to drop it. Manaria Friends, this one was quite a lot further up before, I think. Anyways, I like this, actually. I like the costume design. And I just remembered one thing about Watashi ni Tenshi ga Mayoerita, and that is the fact that I like how they animate mouths. There's something about it because the mouths actually like they're kind of sideways at times, and I think that's really cool because I don't usually see this. And animation in this show in general is really good. Doga Kobo, generally, as I said, I generally don't talk about studios, but Doga Kobo is worth talking about because they usually make a lot of cute girls anime where the animation is really top notch. This isn't the strongest show they've made so far. However, it's quite strong. Like it is like it's better than a lot of shows this season, or maybe not this season specifically because this season just in general is quite good. But like, yeah, it looks good. That's my point. Back to Manaria Friends. I really like the costume design. Even though the backgrounds are very detailed and I'm generally more into simplistic backgrounds, it feels like there's put effort into those backgrounds, so they look good. They look detailed in the way I like, except for a couple of frames. Let me see if I can find those Manaria Friends. Yeah, here's one. Okay, so I don't really like this background, for instance. Like, look at how it just looks like there's a texture tool put upon it and then drawn some lines around it, like, or yeah, it just doesn't really look that good. But then you have like let's see, then we have like backgrounds like this, where it feels like this feels a lot more authentic. Like, it feels like there's put effort into it, and I really like that when you can see that there's put effort into it. Let's see if I can find more. I also just generally like the art style of the girls, like this. She's very like she's pretty. She's very pretty. And while I generally prefer cute, this is like she's pretty but in a cute way, you know, if that makes sense. And I like there's another thing, the detail in the character designs also fits the detail in the backgrounds, like how she has these eyelashes like this, and in general, like, there's enough detail on this character, like this hair. You can also see like tiny eyelashes and stuff, and this makes it work with the backgrounds that are very detailed. Let's see, here's another background, like this. You can also tell, like, this feels like it's actually crafted with care. It doesn't feel like it's just put like a texture tool. It feels like it's someone just made this with yeah, and when it like has the effort put into it, I just tend to like it more. Okay, next one is Gotobun no Hanayome, and I actually kind of like this. No, wait, I kind of liked it for a while, but I dropped it because I didn't like it enough. That's how it was. And I also hate the main character because he's voiced by Kirito's voice actor once again, and like, I don't like his voice actor. He doesn't fit the role. Like, this is the type of he should be the class president type, not the rascal type. And I just don't like when Kirito's voice actor, I don't even know his name, but like, I don't like when he voices these characters because he has this rascal voice. He has this like, I don't know, not the dignified voice that he should have had. And yeah, and I'm not into big boobs, so when every girl has the same big boobs, it's not really fun for me, because it's like, it is a harem. It's a traditional harem. And yeah, and I also prefer isekai harems over these. I can understand the old people, or the people who's been in this for a long time, that miss these. So I'm glad for their sake, like one of my friends, but I'm not into it enough. Domestic Nakanojo. I watched one episode so far. I've read the manga. Like I'm not up to date anymore. But I got like 60 or 70 or maybe even more chapters into it. And I think the adaptation is kind of, it's all right. It's not it's not quite at the level of the manga. So yeah, I don't really like it that much, but at the same time, it's all right. It's decent. Yeah. I'm gonna watch more of it, but apparently it's not available in here in Norway, so I'll have to figure out how to watch it, because Haida didn't license it here. Boogie Pop wa Warawanai. I dropped this after 2 episodes. I don't like it. I thought I would like it, and I think I will like the light novel, but I don't like the anime. It feels like a poor adaptation. It feels like it's rushing through the story, which it is, because in 3 episodes it's adapting the full first volume. And as far as I know, the volumes are actually kind of bigger, or there's more pages, more in it than most light novels. And trying to adapt like a full light novel that is bigger than this in 3 episodes is like, it's suicidal. You can't do it. It's basically impossible. You have to gloss over a lot of things, and I had literally no idea what was happening. And it's not because it's trying to do that. No, I like the stories where I don't really know what happens. Like I'm currently watching Serial Experiments Lane, and I love it so far. I'm 6 episodes in, and I love it. And I love it because, or kinda because, I don't really know what is currently happening, but I understand that something is happening in a way. However, with this, it's just, it doesn't really make sense. The character designs are so bland, so I keep confusing the characters. I don't know what is happening. I don't understand why a scene is there. And it jumps around, and I didn't even understand that it was jumping around in time until like far into the 2nd episode. I was like, oh, did it just jump in time? Is that what's happening? So yeah, maybe it will get better, because the staff is quite talented. So yeah, it has the studio Madhouse. Don't think about that. They used to make like some good OVAs back in the day, but having the name Madhouse doesn't make it good. Also, it looks ugly in a lot of scenes. Like, it feels unpolished. It just feels like a rushed product in general. And yeah, I'm not happy with this. And I'm gonna read the light novel, because I've actually ordered the light novel, so I'll hopefully get it in a couple of days. Hopefully. So, because I also read like the first 2 pages of the book in a preview, and I really like those 2 pages. So that's also another reason why I think that this is a poor adaptation. Yeah, I haven't seen Date Live, so I'm not gonna comment on that. Kaguya-sama wa kokurasetai tens... some of these Japanese titles are a little bit hard to pronounce. Anyways, I like the visual style in this. It's like very out there. However, it's like the comedy doesn't hit me enough, and it feels like it feels too separated. It doesn't feel like there's an overarching arc or story or anything. I don't sense any like development in the characters so far at all, and it just doesn't hit me that well hard. And wait, is it psychological? Okay. Well, maybe I'll have to give it a bit more then. Anyways, it was good. or maybe it's psychological because there's a mind game between the two characters. I don't know. Maybe I will watch some more of it. But so far I'm not like super into it. My friend says it's really good, and we sometimes align with our opinions, but sometimes not. Like he didn't like the Wataten, this one. So I don't know. I'll have to see. Maybe I'll give it more time later. Kakiguri, I haven't started this. I'm waiting for the Netflix release. Dororo. I actually really like this. I was surprised because I tend to say I don't like historical anime. However, I say that in the same way that a lot of people, including me at one point, say that I don't like mecha. I don't like idol shows. So I just haven't seen enough historical anime to really say that I don't like historical anime. I just, in general, the historical setting doesn't really appeal to me, but I've seen historical anime that actually I liked. So anyways, this was actually really good. The animation is top notch. Mappa oftentimes actually makes shows with really good animation. So it's nice to see that they are doing it again with this one. I will keep up with it. The story is interesting. I wasn't really like, I didn't like the writing in the, or the dialogues in the opening scene before they focused on the child. I don't remember his name, or maybe, yeah, Dororo. He's fucking in the title. Anyways, I think that's his name. Wait a second, let me check this up. Look this up. Yeah, it's his name. Playboy girl, of course. I could tell. Anyways, I like this, and I'm keeping up with this. Yakusoku no Neverland. I fucking love this show. I'm reading the manga. I'm at, like, I'm gonna start the last arc because it's ending soon, and I'm just waiting for it to end before I finish it. But the manga is amazing, and the anime adaptation just it just does this so, like, it adapts it really well, and I just love it. I love it. The visuals are amazing. I love it. Go watch it, because yeah, I don't really want to say what it is about. Just go watch it because it's worth it. But you probably have, because it's like one of the biggest shows this season, and like, yeah. Anyways, Mob Psycho 100 season 2. Holy fuck, this looks amazing. Holy shit, like how the heck do they do this? Like, there's so much animation there. Like, it blew my mind. Like, the first season was amazing, but this, like, I haven't seen a show that just tops the previous season this much when the previous season was already amazing. Like, holy fuck. So much amazing Sakuga. Like, background animation, there's a lot of it in here, and background animation is just, to me, that's some of the most impressive you can like find in animation in general. So it's kind of like, it's awesome to see it and this much. Like, I think there was, like, in this second, I think we're at the second episode. Let's see. No, third episode. Okay, so in the third episode, there were like 2 or 3 scenes where they actually used background animation, and I was like, what the heck, dude? How? I love this. It's amazing. And it also has, like, as the meme goes now on Kitsu, because I had a conversation with someone and they took a line out of context. It has themes. I really like the themes in this show, though. How, like, especially Mob as a character, like, he feels so grounded, and it's interesting to see how like he tackles these situations where he's juxtaposed with like, my duty is to exorcise these people or these spirits or whatever, but they aren't harmful and they just want to live a little bit longer. So what do? Do I exorcise them or do I not and let down the customers? And I really like how they handle these things, like how he just has to really think about this. And I understand, like, it's actually really difficult to come to like a conclusion to this, because like, do I do this or do I do that? Because either side will have like an emotional effect on him, and I feel like that's really well done. And Reagan is always amazing. He really has some nice things to say, even though he is abusing Mob's abilities and lying to him and all that jazz. He really does have a lot of great things to say, and he really does help Mob in a way. He helps him think on his own. He gives him the opportunity to do that, and I really like how he does that. I love this show, and I think you should check it out because it's an amazing show. The art style can be jarring for some. Fuck that. Go watch it because it's still amazing. And I say that knowing I'm the hypocrite that also drops stuff because it looks ugly, like Bermuda Triangle that I dropped because of the ugly eyes and anyways. I'm a hypocrite, so what? Next one, last one, or kinda. Let's before we do that, I think there's some other shows we can do. I'm still watching Tensei Shitara Slime Data Ken. However, I'm keeping it on hold, and I'm gonna finish it once it's done. Sword Art Online Alicization, I'm keeping up to date with that because I forced myself to. After all, like the 14 or 13 episodes of exposition, mostly exposition, it's actually kind of getting better. I don't think it's great. I don't think it's awful. It's a little bit bad, but it's getting better. It also has some background animation, which is really nice, but it's not really... Like, the fights aren't really choreographed as well as a lot of great shows, but at the same time, it's really impressive that they can do these scenes in almost every episode, or at least 2 episodes in a row now, where there's really good animation. Though there's you can also tell that they sacrifice other scenes where it looks kind of janky, and yeah, I'm not a huge fan of it. I'm not a fan of it, I mean, but it's all right. Let's see if there's anything. Yeah, Kazukatsuyoku Fuiteru. I like this show. It has some great characters. I'm gonna finish it once it's done. I'm glad it's 23 episodes. I really like the characters. The backgrounds are amazing. The art is amazing. It's a great show. I love it, and I just want to binge it once it's done, if I have time. Let's see if there's any other shows. I don't think there's any of the continuing, but yeah, Revisions. I'm gonna check this out once it's done airing because it's a Netflix anime, and they usually like put out everything at once. But I think it looks interesting, at least because I think the art doesn't really look that bad, and like I'm at least based on the PV, and you know, like I'm not a huge fan of CG, but I don't really mind it necessarily, and especially for these mecha shows as it is, I don't mind it as much. But it looks like it would be interesting, so I don't know. Maybe it will be, maybe it won't. And yeah, lastly, I think this is the last show before I'll go back to the top in popularity. I think yeah, the most popular show. So Eromanga Sensei OVA. I'm looking forward to watch this. I know the first episode is already out. I haven't seen it yet. I'm rewatching the first season without subtitles because I'm trying to challenge myself. It's interesting because I can actually understand quite a lot between Masamune and Sagiri, a lot of the conversations between those, but I have troubles understanding the conversations between Masamune and the editor. So that's kind of interesting. Maybe it's just because they actually just speak simpler Japanese. Maybe it's just because I know some words that they tend to use in this normal conversations, but not the work conversations. I don't know. Maybe it's not really that different in level, and I'm just at a very low level so far. But it's interesting the fact that I can understand most of the conversations between Masamune and Sagiri, at least. So let's see if there's any movies I'm gonna check out real quick. Yeah, Made in Abyss. I'm gonna watch these movies whenever they appear on the interwebs. I'm looking forward to the second season, and I'm actually looking forward to these compilation movies, even though they're compilation movies, because the anime, most people said the anime had some pacing issues. I'm not sure. I preferred that they were a little bit slower than the manga, but I don't know. It would be interesting to see how the compilation movie does it, if I like it more, or the pacing more. So I will watch these two. I'm looking forward to those. And yeah, and Tsuruna, I'm getting back to that later, maybe sometime, because it's Kyoto Animation, and I fucking love Kyoto Animation, one of the studios you can actually talk about, because they're like very consistent in both stuff and quality and types of shows. So, but yeah, I'm gonna check this out. It's not nearly as gay as Free, or I wouldn't really call this gay. Or maybe it is, and I just haven't gotten to it yet. But yeah. Okay, let's see. Now, last show. Tate no Yusha no Nariagari. I went into this expecting to dislike it, and I went out of this really liking it. I really like isekai shows, and let's see, and it's interesting because I really like the isekai ID, or the types of show, but I don't like most isekais, because most isekais aren't really that good. However, this show actually managed to keep me interested throughout the full first episode, which was extra long, and it also managed to keep me through the second episode. I think like, a lot of people have already talked about this whole controversy. Oh, he has a slave, and I don't really get it. What's the problem? He treats the slave with care. He actually is nice to her. He doesn't treat her like a slave. He treats her like a normal person. And he's been betrayed. How the heck is he gonna find someone to join his side? He actually has to do this. And I don't know what kind of worlds people imagine these fantasy worlds are, but slavery was a thing even in like real life, like even in our world. So is it really that far of a stretch to assume that there will be slavery in a dark fantasy world? I don't know if this is dark yet, but regardless, I don't think it's like weird for there to be slavery in it, like, especially when it's trying to be this dark fantasy world. I don't know. Anyways, it's a good show. I like it, and let's let's see, what else do I have to say? And yeah, the composer is actually Kevin Penkin's, or Kevin Penkin, the composer of Made in Abyss, or the soundtrack of Made in Abyss. And I haven't really heard enough of the soundtrack, or rather, I don't really remember the soundtrack. So I really loved him in Made in Abyss. I don't know. I'll have to watch another episode on this and then comment on the music. Actually, maybe once it's done or something. Yeah. But anyways, this is a really good show actually, and I'm a little bit surprised by that. So, anyways, I think that should be it. I've talked about all of the shows as far as I know. I don't think I have any more to say. Let me just look through this. And the images disappeared, so yeah, fuck that. Thank you for watching, and it was actually just 45 minutes. Oh, nice. Okay, bye.